So, okay, the first thing I wanted to talk about, it makes me laugh, but I mean, here we go.
Yeah,
Muhammad al-Jawlani, who is now, what's his name now? Ahmed al-Sahara?
Shara.
Shara?
Shara, I
Guy's doing
think.
a,
Yeah.
yeah, doing a whole rebrand, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I refuse. I will call him Jawlani until the day he dies.
Yeah.
That is the name he used when he created Al Qaeda in Syria, and when he enforced, Islamist rule over Idlib, Syria for the past decade. And basically, he teamed up with the CIA. He got the Zelensky treatment. I guess they figured with Zelensky they had to take him out of his suit and put him in military garbs. With Jawlani, they take him out of the military garbs, they put him in a suit, they trim out the beard, and they present him as basically, hey, look, we have a new Bashar al-Assad to take over Syria. He's going to, be a secularist and a sectarian. And of course, the opposite has become true. Certainly, thousands of Alawites have been slaughtered under his rule. And Misty, this is crazy, right? We fought a decade and a half long dirty war in Syria, funding these terrorist groups and sanctioning Syria, all to remove Bashar al-Assad because he was supposedly bad to his people.
Yeah.
Now that there's actually a Syrian government that's horrific to its people, and not that Assad was a benevolent dictator or something like that. He was a dictator. I'm a libertarian. I hate all governments. Certainly, I would have hated living under Bashar al-Assad. I'm somebody with independent political thought, even if I was an Alawite, a part of his sect. If I criticized the government, my life, certainly my freedom would have been in jeopardy, if not my life. And so that isn't something you want. However, he did not have bands of thugs, going through towns, forcing people to crawl on their hands and knees and then executing them. I mean, there are real lunatics in charge of Syria now, international jihadists who have spent decades fighting, these nasty wars where they go into towns and execute everybody time and time again. This happened in Syria, hundreds of thousands of dead, many at the hands of Jawlani and his thugs. And yet, he's shaking hands with Donald Trump, and apparently he's quite the attractive guy, Misty. I don't know if I could judge that, but that's certainly what Donald Trump thinks.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, we're going to play that clip because I had to listen to it like 5 times because I'm like, did he really just say that? He really just said that. But yeah, so I mean, this was like just a few months ago, right? We're offering a $10 million. I wonder if Donald Trump gets that $10 million. This was just a few months ago. This guy was a terrorist. He was evil, and he is evil. Like, he's killed American people. Like, this is a very bad dude. But this is a few months ago, and then this is him with Donald Trump now. They're besties, and it is crazy to me that this is what's happening. But here, I want to play this video because I genuinely, and I'm sure people have heard it by now, but we're going to play it anyways because
find the Syrian president.
Right. I think very good, young, attractive guy, tough guy. Strong pass, very strong pass fighter.
Is that wordy?
But he's got a real shot at pulling it together.
This is one of these videos, right, where we live in the age of high quality AI video generation, where you do have to stop and like go and check and make sure that Donald Trump really called him attractive, because this could have been fake, right?
Right.
But
yes.
And then that should be the most baffling part. But I think the most baffling part is he calls him a strong guy and a tough fighter
with a strong past. Really strong past.
What is his past? Fighting for Al Qaeda in Iraq. He's a veteran of the Iraq War who fought on the other side of it.
And it's what I think is so crazy too. And shout out to WikiLeaks. This is from Jake Sullivan in 2012. And you can see her highlighted. See last item, AQ, Al Qaeda is on our side in Syria. And I have been saying this for years. There will always be a WikiLeaks. There will always be a WikiLeaks. There's going to be stuff that happens in 30 years. And we're going to be able to look back at WikiLeaks and be like, oh, here's where this person met that person and made this deal and traveled to that country, and here we are again. Al Qaeda, and we all knew that, right? We all knew that this was a CIA operation, that we were funding and arming these terrorist groups, and now the president is besties with this guy and is calling him an attractive young man with a strong past, and he's a strong, what do you call him? Strong leader or something like that? A fighter. He's a fighter. My guy. I don't even have words, Kyle. Like, what do you this is not a good look, right? It's not a good look.
No. And, you know, look, this is one of those things that has happened in Syria time and time again, where it's almost cartoonish, right? Where at one point in the war, you would have headlines, CIA bad Syrian rebels fighting against the Department of Defense Syrian rebels. And this was real, right? We were backing the Kurds and we were backing Jawlani, and they were fighting against each other because, again, Jawlani and his band of Sunni jihadists, you know, believe in the infidel and removing them. And that includes the Syrian Kurds, who the U.S. has spent years and years and years backing and saying that that's, you know, why we have to remain in Syria. And so this whole thing is just absolutely disgusting, Missy. And I want to say, as stupid as this is, and as much as I just want to laugh at this, I think we have to really look at the two things things going on in the Middle East right now. One, you know, this dirty war we fought for the Syrian jihadists over the past decade and a half, and now that Jawlani's in charge in Damascus, and that means, you know, these international jihadists have tons of funding and room to operate, access to weapons. I mean, Israel bombed a lot of military bases, but I'm sure they still have a lot of small arms and drones and things like that. And at the same time, the U.S. is backing Israel as Tel Aviv commits a genocide in Gaza, and now, you know, they're making it very clear annexation and ethnic cleansing in the West Bank as well. Yeah. And so if you are going to back a genocide in the Middle East, for the love of God, don't give the jihadists room to operate, because they're going to take all that propaganda. Every single video of a Palestinian child being killed, you know, operated on as they don't have anesthesia, that's going to be used to create more and more of these bin Ladenites. Gaza is littered with U.S. unexploded and exploded bomb casings all over the place. You know, Palestinians even use the bomb casings to prop up their tents because they're so prevalent around the strip at this point. And so, you know, the scars of America's crimes are all over Gaza, the Middle East, but particularly Gaza. And so all these lunatics, even if Jawlani isn't the same lunatic he was in 2006 when he was fighting in Iraq, there are certainly people within his ranks who now have serious governmental positions who are those kind of lunatics. Like, you know, I'm not somebody who's paranoid and thinks we need to go around the world killing people to ensure our national security. But we cannot, in one sense, back a bin Ladenite terrorist and then at the same time give them all the propaganda in the world to make young Muslim men hate Americans.
Yes, that's such a good point. Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening here. And it's terrifying. I don't know what else to do but laugh, though. It's so absurd and crazy that this is happening, and I genuinely cannot believe that this is where we're at. But here we are. And seeing that video of Trump, seeing him hobnobbing with this guy, shaking his hand, being all buddy, like, it is just insane what's going on. And we're going to talk about the Israel situation here in a little bit.
Please clap.